Hello guys, my name is Vincent. Welcome back to our channel. One day after the two-night WrestleMania 38 event, WWE remained in Dallas for the post-WrestleMania edition of Raw. That Raw is generally one of the biggest nights of the year, as WWE begins to move into the next phase of their yearly schedule. Monday night was no different, with a very entertaining show anchored by a few surprises and many of the biggest stars on the roster beginning to lay out their goals moving forward. Among those stars were Cody Rhodes, who returned to WWE at WrestleMania after a stint in AEW, and Roman Reigns, who defeated Brock Lesnar to unify the WWE and Universal Championships in the WrestleMania main event. We gave you all night with recaps and highlights of all the action from American Airlines Center in Dallas. Cody Rhodes opened the show with an emotional promo. Rhodes vowed to win a world championship in WWE, something his legendary father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, was never able to do. Seth Rollins, the man Rhodes beat in his return at WrestleMania, entered at the end of the promo and shook hands with Rhodes. Sasha Banks and Naomi defeated Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan via pinfall when they hit Morgan with a facebuster into Banks' knees. Morgan apologized to Ripley after the match, but Ripley walked out. Later in the show, Ripley told Morgan that she convinced WWE officials to give them a title shot next week despite the loss, and the two shared a hug. Elias returned as Ezekiel, interrupting a Kevin Owens promo. Owens said the loss to Steve Austin only happened because Owens came in with a back injury. Ezekiel then interrupted, claiming to be Elias' younger brother. Owens laughed him off before eventually leaving the ring. The Miz defeated Dominic Mysterio via pinfall with a skull-crushing finale. The match was very quick and led to the debut of Veer Mahan came as he stormed the ring, attacking both Mysterios after Dominic's loss to Miz. Bianca Belair celebrated winning the Raw Women's Championship from Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Belair, who was sporting a nasty black eye from the match, said she was ready to defend against anyone and everyone now that she was back on top. Braun Breaker defeated Dolph Ziggler, who was current champion, via pinfall to win the NXT Championship with a military press powerslam. Breaker fought off interference from Robert Roode before managing to get the win and regain the title. MVP turned on Bobby Lashley by attacking him from behind as Lashley was confronted by Omos. MVP was upset. Lashley said he didn't need him to beat Omos at WrestleMania. MVP and Omos then continued to beat Lashley down. Queen Zelina attacked Carmella after blaming Carmella for their team losing the women's tag titles. Austin Theory and the Usos defeated RK Bro and Finn Balor via pinfall when Theory hit Balor with the ATL. Edge and Damian Priest explained their new alliance with Priest, saying Edge's recent promos felt like Edge was speaking to him. AJ Styles ran to the ring and attacked Priest but was eventually taken out by Edge and Priest having superior numbers. The Street Profits defeated Alpha Academy via pinfall in a Texas Tornado tag match. The finish came when Montez Ford put Chad Gable through a table with a frog splash. Then the Bloodline makes its way to the ring. Roman Reigns poses with his title belts, then hands them to Paul Heyman. The fans chants Roman, and he says he knows what they want, but he's switching things up a little bit. Roman asks Heyman to explain their success. Heyman says, the Usos are the longest reigning tag team champions. He says the most box office receipts of all time for SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and the Royal Rumble, who was the main event. Roman Reigns, the first billion-dollar year in the history of WWE, and who was the star of the show for 365 days. Roman Reigns, the biggest WrestleMania in history, and who was the main event. The undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Roman takes the microphone back and he says he is responsible for all the billion-dollar deals. He is the last needle mover because he's constantly operating in God mode. And he's a man of his word. He said he would smash Brock Lesnar and he did it. The show as a whole was very good, with a ton of energy and good momentum from start to finish. That said, no one segment stood out as defining the episode. Still, Rhodes and Reigns both set into motion where two of WWE's biggest stars are going in the post-WrestleMania landscape. Grading the show as a whole, this was a show that was far above average. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more wrestling updates.